but there is a Jamaican who is based in Toronto, Canada, who has been a dominant force as it relates to our music and culture. As a matter of fact, he has several reasons to celebrate this morning, being the only artist who now has copped the JUNO Award for a record six times. And this is after 13 nominations. That says something about consistency. I told you that I'd have him on my tracker, and I've found him this morning. Want to say good morning and congratulations to EXCO Levi. Morning, EXCO.
Man, Rich, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, my bro. How about you? How are you feeling this morning, the morning after your big, well, in fact, 2 mornings after your big win on the weekend?
Yeah, feeling good, you know what I mean? Just here chilling, you know what I mean? And the weather is not too good outside.
Really?
I'm just here chilling, you know what I mean? I feel good as usual. I Rich, before you start this interview, I want to take this time out to big you up, you know what I mean? Over the years, I remember as a youth growing up in Jamaica, listening to you on the radio, you know what I mean? And, you know what I mean, just to be talking to you on the phone right now, the contribution that you have made toward our genre and promoting artists and the culture. I wanted to start off the interview by congratulating you also, you know what I mean?
Oh, wow. Thank you very much. I never expected that, but I appreciate it. Thank you so very much, EXCO. You've now set a record in terms of the number of wins in the JUNO Awards, which is the big awards that happened in the in Canada. What does this award mean to you at this stage of your career?
Well, put it this way, Richie. Well, I migrated to Canada 20 years ago, you know what I mean, from Manchester, you know what I mean, so I'm a countryman. So big up all the people from Manchester. My mom is from Manchester, my dad is from Clarendon, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And when I just migrated to Canada, I used to watch the JUNO Award on the TV. I used to think it's a white award, you know what I mean, because I used to saw, I mean, the Cylinder and the Alpha Lavigne, you know what I mean, a lot of those, kind of Michael Bublé. I think the only black person I used to saw in the award was Cardinal Official and a guy called Chaos. So I didn't even know that there was a place for me. I was thinking, you know what I mean?
Yes.
That one day I could actually walk this podium 6 times and nominated 30 times. So the feeling is always the same. I mean, can't believe, you know what I mean? That this award that I used to watch on TV and saw all these white people, all these great multi-platinum selling artists, Grammy Award winning Cylinder, Drake. I saw Drake host it 1 year. You know what I mean? And so just to be a part of that for a local countryman from Manchester, just to walk that podium 6 times and nominated 30 times is always a blessing. So the feeling is always the same. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What do you think about the fact that you have been maintaining such a strong presence in the Canadian reggae market? You know, what do you attribute that to?
Well, I think it all boils back down to what a person's purpose. You know what I mean? I remember growing up in the country with my grandmother. She used to send me to the shops, and I used to visualize the soccer field as a crowd of people. You know what I mean? So I just think that this is just a manifestation of your true destiny. If you understand what I mean? You know what I mean? So everything that happened for EXCO Levi, me never surprised yet. I travel all across the world and it wasn't a surprise to me because it just seems like a deja vu to me. Because I've been seeing these things from a kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I could visualize myself on stages across the world and I later see it manifest in real life. So even my manager, Dennis Jones, may also rest in peace, always said I'm the least excited. But because what? I like this see before, all of these greatness before, you know what I mean?
Your album, we compile a chart here in Jamaica, a weekly chart, and I remember when the album came out, Born to Be Free, and it started building a momentum, went straight up to #1 at the Jamaica Music Countdown chart, and people in fact from time to time would request different songs from the album. Obviously, the project resonated with the judges and the voters. What can you share with us about the inspiration behind the album, and tell us about some of the people you worked with on it, Born to Be Free? Sorry, Born to Be Free. Go ahead, yes.
Yes, first and foremost, I want to thank the government of Canada, you know what I mean? Because they gave me funding to do this album 2 years ago, you know? And, you know, I just started recording some song. I didn't know what direction the album would went, you know what I mean? I just started recording some song because once you're recording a portion of song, then you could see what direction to take the album and what to name it, you know what I mean? And I realized that most of the songs that I recorded for the album was was more talking about liberation and unity of Africa and black people and where we are coming from and our struggles and our and I realized that and actually the title track Born to Be Free was the last song I recorded for the album.
Really?
Because I was at Penthouse, because we start most of the work here in Canada with my band. We put down the framework and then we just brought it to Donovan, Germany, and we put on the finishing touches, you know what I mean? So the title track, Born to Be Free, I was at Penthouse and the musician was in the studio playing the rest of the song, but I have the song in my head.
Yes.
And then I sing it to Charita. When you're working with Donovan, Germany, you have to be careful what you put to the table, because, so I sang it to Charita Lewis, big up to Charita Lewis, and he said, EXCO, that bad, go and make the musician and hear it. Just like that. And I go in the studio and I put it on for the musician, and it eventually become the title track of the album.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So it's all about putting in the work and make sure so whatever you're putting on the table is conscious and positive and along the line of your belief and your morality, and that's what EXCO Levi did.
Most definitely. Let's talk a little bit about the Canadian reggae scene now, EXCO. I mean, it has evolved over the years. How do you see its growth today, and what more do you think needs to be done to elevate reggae music in Canada?
Well, reggae music has been in Canada from the 60s and 70s, from the Jackie Matthews, from the, you name it, Leroy Sibbles. They are the one who set the foundation here. You know what I mean? Because Shabba at one point used to live in Canada. So I think that just like how most Jamaican artists could say England back in the days was their hub away from Jamaica, I think Canada could be recognized as one of those places. Most artists will tell you that the first time they travel, it's to Toronto. You know what I mean? And I heard that from a lot of artists all the time. So Canada is really a base for reggae music. You know what I mean? I've lived here 20 years and I saw it grown. You know what I mean? So I think it's a vibrant community. We just need, there's probably over 25 or 30 different genres of music in Canada. So obviously we're not gonna get all the attention that we want. You know what I mean? But we really give thanks for the representation in terms of we've been a part of the JUNO Award for many years, you know what I mean, and there's a lot of shows. There's over 200 music festivals keeping Ontario only every year. In 2018, I did 30 shows in Canada. I'm not talking about a reggae show. I'm talking about festivals.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I think that there are still places for reggae music and dancehall music here in the country. You could see that when artists come here. Barry Sword, Aman came here last year at his 2 show. Sold out 2 nights. You know what I mean? So it's a vibrant community, and we just need the people of Jamaica, who's hearing my voice right now, to understand what we've been doing on this side, promoting our culture. Because sometimes, to tell the truth, Richie, I feel like I don't get enough justice in Jamaica. You know what I mean? This is my born land. You know what I mean? Pick up everybody who support EXCO Levi, you know what I mean? Big A, and there's a lot of DJs who play EXCO Levi music. I give thanks for that. But I think that still more can be done in the homeland. You know what I mean? And people should recognize that we are here, you know what I mean, through blood, sweat, and tears, putting out this music over here, representing Jamaica likewise. Because 75% of my recording was done in Jamaica.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Very, very positive answer. And in fact, I remember when you entered the festival song competition, I thought to myself, yeah, that's a clever move, because a lot more people now will get a chance to see you and to hear more about you during that competition about 2 or so years ago. What was that experience like for you?
It was actually great, You know that I was, to tell you the truth, I was coming to Jamaica like in 3 days. I bought my ticket, everything, because every time I like to come to Jamaica around January, February for Reggae Month, you know what I mean? And I was just thinking to myself, I was like, the sense of joy when I reach Jamaica and see the same ball field and see the same people, growing up, you know what I mean? And that's how the song came about, Feel Like Home, you know what I mean? And I recorded it and I sent it to Jeremy, and I said, Jeremy, do you think this will do well in the JCDC festival? He said yes. You know what I mean? And I was utterly surprised when I realized that it's nominated out of 103, I believe, submission. I was selected as in the top 10. Yeah. It was utterly surprised to me, you know what I mean? Because, something I put the work out there, and this is the JCDC. I've been listening to festival music in Jamaica from a kid growing up.
Right.
So I came up third. But the experience was great. I performed on Bob Marley's birthday, Richard Marley's celebration. And I think that I just left Jamaica 3 weeks ago, and even a police officer stopped me on the road and he said, listen, Your song was supposed to be the song too, you know. You know what I mean? So you must say, you know what I mean? So just to see that response driving across Jamaica, everybody reach out and say, EXCO. I went to New York, I saw some other people and I said, EXCO, I don't know how you don't win. I said, no, don't worry, I came third.
Yeah.
Yes. You know what I mean?
I remember. I remember. Yeah, man. I remember. I hosted the presentation show. And when I saw your performance and listened to the song whilst you performed it, I thought to myself, this was definitely one of the strong contenders that year. So congratulations on coming third. Now, winning a JUNO Award, EXCO, is a major milestone. But what's next for you beyond this point? What are your plans? What boundaries are you pushing going forward?
Well, for me, this year, I have a lot of shows coming in right now, you know what I mean? A lot of shows here in Canada. I'm going to the UK. I haven't been to the UK from 2015. I'm going there the 5th of May. I'm going to Thunder Bay, Ontario. So I have a lot of booking coming in from Canada. You know, with the JUNO Award, it comes with a lot of bookings, and you know what I mean? So I have to just do those and just hope for the best. Just keep on promoting this album, and I mean, and keep on promoting the music. And, you know, I get to realize, Richie, that music is a thing that you can't put a time on. You don't know when. You know what I mean? There's no expiry date on the music that you do. So you just keep on promoting them, you know what I mean? And that's what EXCO Levi have been doing over the years.
Yeah.
So a lot of shows coming up, a lot of interviews, like my phone been constantly ringing. In the last 2 days, you know what I mean? I'm like, I hardly get any sleep, people calling me from all over the world.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Reaching out. Because it's been 5 years since I've won a JUNO Award.
Oh, it's that long. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so believe me, this year I didn't attend because I was in Jamaica for 2 months. I was exhausted. I was like, okay, I'm going to skip this year. And the year that I skipped is the year I won.
5 years break, and then you win your 6th award at the JUNO.
Yeah. So I was like, whoa, I should be in Vancouver right now. You know, a big barefoot pants and jacket suit for the red carpet. But I said go.
That's it, go.
Just give thanks that I came out for the win. And big up all the nominees who win the category because King Croft sound really well. I think they say he's the grandson of
Bob Marley.
Bob.
Yeah.
Yes, which is great. You know what I mean? I spoke to him on the phone and I love his music because I always listen to him in song and Tough Gang Read, and you know, I'm a really son. I didn't even know that he resides here in Canada. So big him up, big up Tanya P, and big up all the rest of the nominees in the category, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man, certainly. King Croft had Fallback, Bob Rhythm with Destiny, Sky Star with Sky's the Limit, and Tanya P with Rise were the other nominees. Now, I know what I would do if I had won my 6th JUNO Award, but what can you say in terms of what promoters can expect? 30% upgrade on the price, 40%, I don't know, how it look?
Certainly here in Canada.
Yes.
I'm tell you, like in Canada here, I don't compromise when it comes to the business part of my career because I think that I've deserved it. I've done well.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like for instance, I have my name on the Walk of Fame in Canada.
Right.
So if it's out of the country, because I know that like in Europe, I've been traveling to Europe for 2012. You know what I mean? I have a fan base there and thing, but I'm willing to compromise. You know what I mean?
All right.
Especially in Jamaica, because I know that people know me in Jamaica, but I'm not that. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
That's how I'm willing to, but when it comes to Canada, I don't play around with the business part of it because at the end of the day, it's business. You know what I mean? It takes a lot of money to put out albums and put out music and promote things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, definitely, EXCO. Maybe Joe Bogdanovich is listening and will be contemplating getting you involved in Reggae Sumfest. Jamaica needs to see more of you. but listen, man, great.
And that would be, you see, Soundfest performance would be great. Because guess what? I would fly down my whole band because the government of Canada would sponsor that. You know what I mean? They would fly in my band, and you know what I mean?
All right.
You know, I've never done Soundfest before. I've done Sting before. I've done Rebel Salute. I've never done something before. That would be great.
All right. I'm going to make a call. Thank you, EXCO. Great talking with you, man. All the best going forward.
Give thanks.